On June 30, 2026, the United States Supreme Court issued its decision on Little versus Hecox. This story begins with a college student who simply wanted to run on her university's women's cross-country team. Her name was Lindsay Hecox, a transgender woman attending Boise State University in Idaho. In 2020, Idaho became the first state in the nation to pass a law limiting girls' and women's school sports teams to biological females. The law, known as the Fairness in Women's Sports Act, prevented transgender women and girls from competing on female teams. Hecox believed the law unfairly excluded her from participating in the sport she loved. She filed a lawsuit against Idaho Governor Brad Little, arguing that the law violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment and Title IX, the federal law that prohibits sex discrimination in education. She argued that she had undergone hormone therapy and should be allowed to compete on the women's team. Welcome to Once Upon a Case, because the law isn't just for lawyers, it's for everyone. Idaho defended its law by arguing that girls' and women's sports exist to provide fair athletic opportunities for biological females. The state maintained that separate teams based on biological sex help preserve fairness and competitive equality. The case eventually reached the United States Supreme Court, where it was heard together with a similar case from West Virginia. On June 30, 2026, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Idaho. The court held that Idaho's law does not violate the Equal Protection Clause or Title IX. The decision allows Idaho to continue enforcing its law, limiting girls' and women's school sports teams to biological females. The ruling does not require every state to adopt the same policy. Instead, it confirms that states may choose to enact and enforce these types of laws under the Constitution and Title IX as interpreted by the court. States with different policies may continue to have different rules unless future laws of court decisions change them. Whether viewed as a victory for fairness in women's sports or as a setback for transgender rights, Little versus Hecox became one of the Supreme Court's most significant decisions of 2025-2026 term. And that's the story of Little versus Hecox. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, watch this case next.